Hello guys, in the last lecture we learnt about signal flow graphs drawn for different control systems. There we saw different blocks in a control system are represented by branches of the signal flow graph, and each system variable is represented by a node in the signal flow graph. Then we saw Mason's gain formula, which is used to find the gain of the transfer function or gain of the system or the transfer function of the system. So in this lecture we will see some problems based on signal flow graph that have appeared in GATE examination, so that you know how to apply Mason's gain formula when it comes to finding the transfer function. Okay, so let us see our first problem. Here we have been given a signal flow graph and we need to find forward path and individual loops. So let us first write down, mark the points A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H. Okay, so when it comes to forward path, it is a path between input and output. So forward path 1 would be A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, this is A, B, C, D, E, F. Similarly, next would be A, B, G, H, E, F. Okay, other than that, we can also draw A, B, C, H, G, D, E, F. Okay, let me mark it in a different color. A, B, C, D, G, H, sorry, A, B, what we drew, it was, what it was is A, B, C, H, A, B, C, H, then G, then D, then E, and then F. Okay, this way. Other than that, one path more we can write, P4, it will be A, B, G, D, E, F. Okay, A, B, G, D, E, F. Similarly, P5, A, B, C, H, E, F. Okay, A, B, C, H, E, F. And last P6, it would be A, G, D, C, H, E, F. A, B, G, D, C, H, E, F. Okay, this way we have 6 forward paths. Okay, we have a total of 6 forward path. Is it fine? Okay, so next let us find out the number of loops. So let me first rub this part, paths, forward paths. When it comes to finding loops, then we need to find a closed path, that is a path which starts and ends at the same terminal. So like we will say L1 like this, G, H, G, L2 similarly, C, D, C. Okay, then L3 would be C, H, G, D, C, C, H, G, D, C. Then only these 3 loops are possible. So here we have 3 loops, 6 forward path and 3 loops in total. Okay, one is this loop, one is this loop, other is this 8 figure. This is also a loop. So here we have 3 loops and a total of 6 forward path. So this is how we can find out the number of forward path and loops in a system before finding out the gain using Mason's gain formula. Okay, moving on to the next problem. Here we need to find the gain for this given signal flow graph. I told you whenever there is a self loop, this is a self loop at the output node, what we will do is we will take one more node, 5, it is 0.5. Here we will take one more node, 1, it will be again x2, it will be x2, x1. Now if we see forward path, it is 5 into 1, that is 5. Only forward path. If we take loop, loop is 0.5. Now this delta would be 1 minus L1, that is 0.5. Now this path P1, it touches L1. Okay, so if I remove L1 from delta, then delta 1 would come out to be 1. So gain would be equal to 5 into 1 over delta, that is 0.5. So gain would be 10. So here t is equal to x2 by x1 is equal to 10. Okay, so this is how we will apply the Mason's gain formula to a signal flow graph which contains the self loop at the output node. Okay, in the next question again we have to find the gain C by R. So let us first consider the forward path. Forward path is just this straight one, that is G1, G2, G3, G4. This would be my forward path. Then if we talk about loops, loop will be one is using minus G1, G1 and minus 1. Other is using G2 and minus 1, minus G2. Third one is using G3 and minus 1, that is minus G3. And fourth one is using minus G4. Now if you see, L1 and L3 are not non-touching, they do not have any common terminal. So L1, L3 would be G1, G3. Similarly, L1 and L4 are non-touching, G1, G4. Similarly, L2 and L3 are non-touching, G2, G3. And L2 and L4 are non-touching, G2 and G4. So delta would be 1 minus loop gain minus G1 minus G2 minus G3 minus G4 plus gain of non-touching loop G1 G3 plus G1 G4 plus G2 G3 plus G2 G4. Okay, so if we simplify this one, here I am rubbing these loops. If we simplify this path, what we will get is, we will get delta is equal to 1 plus G1 plus G2 into 1 plus G3 plus G4. This would be my delta. Now this path P touches all the loops. It passes through all the loops. That means its delta 1 would be 1. Because if you remove all the loops from delta, only 1 would remain. So gain would be simply G1, G2, G3, G4 divided by 1 plus G1 plus G2, 1 plus G3 plus G4. Okay, this would be my gain of this signal flow graph. Okay, this is how we will find the gain when it comes to multiple loops. So we need to consider the non-touching loop. Here we have 4 non-touching loop pairs. Moving on to our next problem. Here we have been given an electrical system and we need to draw the signal flow graph. And we are given the signal flow graph, we need to find some parameters in that. So first let us apply the KVL in this loop. So it is I1, this one is I2. So if I apply KVL, Vi is equal to I1 into Z1 plus Z3 minus I2 into Z3. So here I can write I1 is equal to Vi divided by Z1 plus Z3 plus I2 divided by Z3 by Z1 plus Z3. This would be my first equation. Okay, if you apply KVL in the next part, it would be I2 Z2 plus Z3 plus Z4 is equal to I1 into Z3. This one common is Z3. Okay, this is common between I1 and I2. So here I can write I2 is equal to I1 Z3 over Z2 plus Z3 plus Z4. This is my equation 2. Now let us simplify the signal flow graph. If I write the equation of this node I1, I1 is Vi into G1 and I2 into H. I1 is Vi into G1 plus I2 into H. equation number 3, and I2 is equal to, from signal flow graph, I2 is equal to G2 into I1, because a node is equal to sum of incoming signals, G2 into I1. Now compare equation first and third. So we get H is equal to Z3 by Z1 plus Z3, and comparing second and fourth we get G2 is equal to Z3 by Z2 plus Z3 plus Z4. Okay, that is why I was telling you, remembering that a node is equal to sum of all the incoming signals is very important, because many times you may not need to apply the Mason's gain formula, but rather this basic concept to find out certain parameters. Okay, so do remember the basics of signal flow graph in addition to the Mason's gain formula. Okay, next is we need to find the transfer function for this signal flow graph. Okay, so again we will first consider the forward paths. So there is only, between RS and CS there is only one forward path, P1, which is equal to 1. So let me mark these points A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so this is A, B, C. Now if we consider loops, loop 1, it will be B, D, B. It will be equal to minus 2 by S. Loop 2, it will be E, F, E. It will be minus 3 by S. Loop 3, D, E, F, D. It would be minus 24 by S. Okay, out of which if you see L1 and L2 do not have any common terminal, BDB and EFE, so they are non-touching loops. So it would be 6 by S square. Now my forward path only touches L1. It touches L1 at B, but it does not have any common terminal with L2 and L3. So first let us find delta. 1 minus loop gain minus 2 by S minus 3 by S minus 24 by S plus sum of gain of non-touching loop 6 by S square. Okay, now this would give me, how much it would come? It would be 2 plus 3 5 plus 24 29. So it would be 1 plus 29 by S plus 6 by S square. This would be my delta. Now this path is touching L1, so delta 1 would be, we need to remove L1, so L2 and L3 would remain. 1 minus minus 3 by S minus 24 by S. So 1 plus 27 by S. This would be my delta 1. Now putting all these values in our expression for gain or Mason's gain formula, CS by RS would be equal to P1 was 1 into 1 plus 27 by S divided by 1 plus 29 by S plus 6 by S square. So it would be S plus 27 over S square plus 29S plus 6. This would be my gain of the using Mason's gain formula. Okay, this is how we will find the transfer function. In the next problem again we have to find the transfer function. Now here if you see, we have been given a block diagram instead of a signal flow graph. But if you see, simplifying this block diagram won't be that easy. So let us first convert this block diagram into a signal flow graph. So here signal W is coming. It is getting divided into two parts. Gain 1, gain 1. So these are two nodes. This node is going with a gain G. This node is also going with a gain G. And they are combining here 1. It will be Y. Okay. Now this is feedback here with a gain H. And this is feedback here with a gain H. So this is my signal flow graph. So let me mark the points A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay. So if we talk about forward paths, forward path is A, B, C, D, E, F. Gain is equal to G. Second forward path is A, B, H, G, E, F. Again gain is G. Third forward path is A, B, C, D, H, G, E, F. Okay, so gain is A, B, C 1 into 1 into G into H into G into 1. So G square H. Okay, like this. So G square H. Similarly, P4 is A, B, H, G, C, D, E, F. Their gain also will be G square H. So we have two forward paths with gain G and two with forward path G square H. Okay. Now let us find out the loops. So loop would be something like this: C, D, H, G, then C. So loop would be C, D, H, G, C. The gain would be G square H square. Okay, so if we find out, so if you see, every forward path is touching this loop. Okay, some or the other terminal is common in the forward path with this loop. That means all deltas would be 1. That is delta 1 is equal to delta 2 is equal to delta 3 is equal to delta 4 is equal to 1. Okay, all deltas would be 1. So let us find out the gain. Gain would be sigma pk delta k, that is p1 delta 1 g plus p2 delta 2 g plus p3 delta 3 g square h plus p4 delta 4 g square h over 1 minus loop gain, that is g square h square. So it will be 2g 1 plus gh over 1 plus gh into 1 minus gh. So this would get cancelled out. So it would be simply 2g over 1 minus gh. This would be my transfer function. Okay, so this is how we will calculate the transfer function. So sometimes it is better to convert a block diagram into a signal flow graph before the analysis, so that my effort is reduced. Okay, because in signal flow graph it is better, it is much more easier to visualize and find out the gain. Moving on to our next problem. Here we have been given a very complicated block diagram and we need to find a simple equivalent, and here we need to identify x, y, z. Okay, it is the equivalent of this system. So let us see first. Here input r is coming. Okay, so input r is going with c1 over this summer. Okay, r into c1. R is also going here, r into c0. Then it goes with 1 by s into again this summer. So R has two paths, one is C1 and one is C0 by S. So what I can do is, instead I can club these parts like this: C1 plus C0 by S. Okay. Similarly here, this C signal is coming. It is going from here to here like B0 by S, and it is going here directly B1. So I can combine this signal also. So let us draw it on the other page. So RS is coming. It is going through two paths. One is C1, other is C0 by S. Similarly, output is coming. It is going through two paths, B1 and B0 by S. Okay. Now output of these two paths is getting added. Okay. This is getting added here in this summer. Then here if you see, this signal is going from here to here through A1 and from here to again here through A0 by S. So I can combine this part also. The output of this summer goes into 1 by S, but this signal goes here negative A1 plus A0 by S. Okay, this is P block here, and this signal is fed back here. Okay, now if you see, simply this is a feedback loop. So feedback loop gain would be 1 by S divided by 1 plus 1 by s, a1 plus a naught by s. So it would be s upon s square plus a1s plus a naught. Okay. So how would my transfer function or how would my block diagram now look like? Let me rub this and draw the equivalent block diagram. How it would look like. So input is coming here. It is going through two paths, C1 plus C naught by S. Then it goes into a summer. But let us rub this entire thing. Input is coming here. Input is coming, then it is going through two paths, C1 plus C naught by S. Then it goes into a summer. Okay, here the signal is, what the signal is? It is simply, we saw S is upon S square plus A1S plus A naught. Then the signal is P. Then the signal here is B1 plus B naught by S. Okay. Now what to do is take this S outside. So this S is getting feedback here also, so we need to multiply it by S and we will take this S outside. So it would be C1S plus C naught plus minus 1 upon S square plus A1S plus A naught, then P, then it would be B1S plus B naught. Now you can directly compare the two block diagrams. This would be my X, Y and Z. So this is how we can identify the output. Otherwise, if you were reducing the block diagram or if you were trying to draw the signal flow graph and then calculating gain for both the functions, then it would be a bit more difficult. Okay. But here we have just reduced the block diagram. So it has become easy and I have translated the block diagram into the similar form what was given to me in the equivalent figure. Moving on to the next problem. Here we have been given a signal flow graph which has self loop both at input and output node. I told you self loop is invalid at the input node. So what we need to do is we need to simplify this self loop. So what I would do is I would take another node here, X, with a gain 1. So now I would say C by R is basically C by X divided by R by X. So let us first identify C by X. So it has one forward path, P is equal to 1 into G, which is equal to G. It has two loops, one is equal to minus H1, other loop it is equal to minus H2. Delta, and these two loops are non-touching, so L1 L2 is H1 H2. Okay, so if we find delta, 1 minus H1 minus H2 plus H1 H2, which is equal to 1 plus H1 into 1 plus H2. Now this forward path is touching all the loops, so if we combine C by X, so C by X would become, so first of all delta 1 would be 1 because it is touching all the loops. So if we remove all the loops from this delta, only 1 would remain. So whenever any path is touching all the loops, try to memorize that the delta 1 would be 1 only. So C by X would be G upon 1 plus H1 1 plus H2. Now let us try to find R by X. The forward path here is only 1. The loops are same, H1, H2, and these both are non-touching, so it will be H1, H2. But now that means delta will be same. Delta would be 1 plus H1, 1 plus H2. But now if you see, this path only touches H1, so we need to remove H1 from here. That means what I would be left with is 1 plus H2. Here you need to make h1 is equal to 0, so we have removed h1, we are left with 1 plus h2. So gain would become 1 into 1 plus h2 upon whatever is our delta. Okay, so that would be my r by x. Okay, so what we need to do here is, while calculating c by r, it would be c by x upon r by x, take the ratio, it would be g by delta upon 1 plus h2 divided by delta. So it would be g upon 1 plus h2. Okay, so remember, whenever we have to find the ratio of any two nodes which are not the first and the last node, what you need to do, you need to take the ratio from both the inputs. Let me show you an example. What I am trying to say here is, suppose, let me complicate this a bit more. Suppose, let us say C1, this is my C, this is gain G. Suppose I were to ask you C1 by R. This was given to me anyways. If I am asking you C1 by R, then what you need to do is keep the input node same. Input node can never change, so R can never be an input. So C1 by R would always be C1 by X, then R by X. Okay, whatever gain you want to find out, input node will always be constant. Input node will always be X. If you want to find between two variables, find both the gains with respect to X and take their ratio. Okay, like here, if I were to identify C by R, it would be written as C by X, then R by X. Input node will always be X. Okay, whatever the first node is will always be the input node. You can never change the input node. If you want to find ratio between two other variable, first find their ratio with respect to the same variable, then take ratio of both the ratios. Moving on to our last problem. Here we have been given a signal flow graph and we need to reduce this signal flow graph so that it does not contain node E5. So let us first write down the node equations. E2 here is incoming branches T1 to E1, other branches T5 to E5, other branches T4 to E4. Okay, E3 is T23 E2. Okay, E4 is T34 E3 plus T54 E5. Okay, these two are coming, and E5 is here is equal to T25 E2 plus T35 E3. So now suppose if we were to remove E5, if E5 is removed, only these two nodes would be affected, E2 and E4. So how to remove E5 is, if we substitute this value of E5 in both these equations, then I can remove this node E5. Then E2 would become, what E2 would become? T1 to E1 plus T4 to E4 will remain same. T1 to E1 plus T4 to E4 plus, then it would be T5 to multiplied by E5. E5 is 2 T25 E2 plus T35 E3. So it would be E2 is equal to T1 to E1 plus T4 to E4 plus T5 to 25 E2 plus T5 to 35 E3. Okay, similarly E4 would be, what would be E4? T34 E3 plus T54 into T25 E2 plus T35 E3. So this would be T34 plus 5435 E3 plus T5425 E2. Okay. Now in the problem it is also said that graph does not remove any self loop. Okay, there should be not any self loop. Now if you see in the expression of E2, E2 depends on E2. That means it is a self loop. So we need to remove this self loop. For that what we can do is, we can take this term to LHS. So I can write E2 1 minus T52 25 is equal to T12 E1 plus T42 E4 plus T52 35 E3. Okay, this would be my E2 equation. So now if we want to draw the signal flow graph, here E1 would be coming, this node would be E2. Okay, this is my E2 like this, and here we have another node E3, here we have another node E4, here we have another node E6. Now E2 is basically T12 upon 1 minus T5 to 25 E1. So this gain would be T12 upon 1 minus T25 T52. Okay, now the next term in E2 is T42 E4. T42 upon, this would be like this, T42 upon 1 minus T25 T52. Next is T5235 E3. Okay, this would be T5235 upon 1 minus T25 T52. Next is E3. E3 node is remains same, T23 E2. So it would be T23 E2. Next about T4. E4 would be T34 plus 5435. 34 plus 5435. This is 34 plus 5435 E4 E3 plus, next is T5425 5425 E2. Then it would be 5425 E2, and this would remain as it is. So this would be my new signal flow graph in which there is no node E5. We have removed it, and we have also removed any self loop that was coming in the graph. So that is why nodal equations are very important, and the Mason's gain formula is also very important. And you can almost expect one question every year from the signal flow graph. That is why you must prepare this topic very thoroughly and practice a lot of problems based on this topic. In the next lecture, we'll carry forward to see what is the effect of feedback on the control systems.